Hello, ladies and gents, boys and girls, people of all ages, sexualities, and identities, and welcome back to another Doctor Who review. And today's Doctor Who review is only the good. So, what is this box set about? Well, this is about the War Master, and let's kind of say that this takes place roughly at the end of the War Master's run. The Time War has been raging on, and the Master is running and running and running away. At this point in time, he has done absolutely everything in his power to try and either change the fate of the Time War or to make it go in his favour. However, at every turn he has found himself thwarted by the Daleks, and they're getting cleverer and cunning and more cruel, and the Master has no choice but to run and hide. In our first story, Beneath the Viscoid, we find ourselves in a situation in which the Master decides to hide out on a local world full of water. He manages to jettison himself from a Dalek ship after the Daleks capture him in order to go down to the base below. When he gets there, he impersonates the Doctor in hopes of getting a safe passage. He begins to say that he's lost his memory and he needs time to recuperate. He then begins to hypnotize people on the base to get them to do what he wants. After this is achieved, the War Master manages to take down most of the base and tries to spare some of them from the Daleks. However, he manages to spare one individual in a whole group of them. Just when she thinks she's safe, she suddenly looks into the face of the enemy and realizes exactly what's happened. The War Master then zaps her with the temporal energy that he managed to save, and kills her dead on the spot. As she screams in pain, he laughs about the fact that her son will be an orphan. In the next story, The Good Master, the Master finds himself on a planet in which he comes across a power source that he wants to gain for himself, and he will do anything in his power, no matter taking out who he does, to achieve this. The next story, The Sky Man, follows the Master having a new companion named Cole. Now, Cole wants to help the sick and injured, and so the Master decides to indulge him on this when they crash land on a planet. Cole believes that he can make a armor of metal that will be able to save people from being injured. However, what he doesn't realize that he is creating are Cybermen. The Master spends most of the episode essentially sitting in his barn and waiting for the inevitable crash to happen. After realizing what Cole has done, the Master decides that it is time that he gets up off his arse and helps him out. However, not without a price. He tries to prove to Cole about the fact that it doesn't matter what he does in this world, he can't cheat death. Most importantly, he can't cheat nature neither. Him creating the Cybermen is an inevitable irony in his part. The Master then decides to leave Cole to his devices after pretty much partially helping him, pointing out the fact that he wanted to help people, so this is what he gets. The final chapter in this box set, The Heavenly Paradigm, follows the Master finding himself at the pinnacle of the war. After going from corner of corner of the universe and finding everything that he thinks he wants, he only ends up back in one place. By the end of the story, the Master finds himself looking into the Crucible and watching as the Emperor of the Daleks claims it for himself. This scares the Master to death and finds him at the bridge of his endeavors. The Master then decides to flee to a corner of the universe and turn himself into a baby. That way he'll become undetectable to the Daleks and the Time Lords alike. Although this is a very cowardly move, you can understand the Master's ambitions for wanting to do this. He doesn't want to be a warrior, and most importantly, he doesn't want to die. How will the Master be able to wreak havoc in a universe if it's just destroyed? So at this point, when he becomes the baby, he becomes Professor Yana. Lost and alone on the Silver Devastation. So, the War Master, Only the Good. What do I give this box set out of 10? It's a strong box set, and it's a very definitive box set, in my opinion, in the Master Saga. It doesn't only show the cruelty of the Master when he can be the most manipulative, but it also shows the darker sides of his nature, and the way that he can be pushed to such a boundary that even he can be afraid. And for that reason, I give this box set a solid 8 out of 10. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next Doctor Who review. Until then, goodbye, stay beautiful, you beautiful people.